The story of India's struggle for independence begins with the arrival of European powers seeking trade and riches. The British East India Company, initially a trading enterprise, gradually expanded its influence, exploiting the political fragmentation within India. The Battle of Plassey in 1757 marked a turning point, solidifying British dominance over Bengal and eventually paving the way for their control over vast swathes of the subcontinent. The British, through shrewd diplomacy and military might, subdued powerful kingdoms and rulers, establishing their hegemony over India. This marked the beginning of a long and arduous journey for the Indian people, who were subjected to economic exploitation, political subjugation, and cultural suppression under British rule. The British East India Company's rule was marked by policies that prioritized their economic interests over the welfare of the Indian populace. The company's insatiable appetite for resources and profits led to the impoverishment of the Indian peasantry, the destruction of local industries, and the drain of wealth from India to Britain. The British administration, driven by notions of racial superiority, implemented policies that discriminated against Indians, denying them basic rights and opportunities. The British education system, aimed at creating a class of Indians loyal to the crown, further alienated Indians from their cultural roots and sowed the seeds of discontent that would later manifest in the struggle for independence. The imposition of foreign rule was met with resistance from the very outset. Early resistance movements were often localized and spontaneous, led by local chieftains, rulers, and religious figures who refused to submit to British authority. These uprisings, though ultimately suppressed by the superior military might of the British, reflected the simmering discontent among the Indian populace. One such example is the Sannyasi Rebellion, which saw Hindu ascetics rise up against the British East India Company's economic policies in Bengal. Young Indian activist media, Hindu ascetics' defiance against British policies, Sannyasi Rebellion protest footage. The Sannyasi Rebellion was a significant uprising, showcasing the defiance of Hindu ascetics against the exploitative policies of the British. It was a powerful reminder of the resistance that lay within the Indian spirit. Another significant uprising was the Vellore Mutiny of 1806, sparked by the British East India Company's attempts to impose new dress codes and regulations on Indian soldiers, which were seen as an infringement on their religious beliefs. The mutiny, though short-lived, highlighted the growing resentment within the ranks of the British Indian Army, a force that would later play a crucial role in the fight for independence. These early uprisings, though scattered and often brutally suppressed, demonstrated the spirit of defiance that lay dormant within the Indian people, waiting for the right moment and leadership to ignite into a full-fledged struggle for freedom. The 19th century witnessed the emergence of a new consciousness among Indians, a sense of shared identity, and a growing desire for self-determination. This nascent nationalism was fueled by a number of factors, including the spread of Western education, the impact of social reform movements, and the growing awareness of India's glorious past. Indian intellectuals, exposed to Western ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity, began to question the legitimacy of British rule. They highlighted the inherent contradictions between British pronouncements of justice and their actions on the ground. Social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar challenged archaic social practices and advocated for the emancipation of women and lower castes. Their efforts, while aimed at societal regeneration, also contributed to a sense of national awakening by fostering a spirit of unity and social cohesion. The rediscovery of India's rich literary and cultural heritage through the efforts of scholars and historians further ignited the flames of nationalism. Indians once again took pride in their ancient civilization and yearned for a future where they could once again chart their own destiny. The year 1885 marked a watershed moment in India's struggle for independence with the formation of the Indian National Congress, or ANC. Founded by a group of educated Indians, including Dadabhai Naoroji and A.O. Hume, the ANC provided a platform for educated Indians to articulate their demands for greater representation in government and administrative reforms. Initially moderate in its approach, the INC sought to achieve its objectives through dialogue and petitions, appealing to the British sense of justice and fairness. British official. The early years of the Indian National Congress were characterized by debates and discussions on a wide range of issues, including poverty, education, and the plight of the peasantry. The Congress, through its annual sessions held in different parts of the country, played a crucial role in fostering a sense of national unity and solidarity. It provided a platform for Indians from all walks of life to come together and voice their grievances against British rule. The INC's emergence marked a significant step towards the development of an organized national movement, laying the groundwork for the mass mobilization that would characterize the later stages of the freedom struggle. Section 5. Swadeshi. The Power of Self-Reliance. The early 20th century witnessed a surge in nationalist sentiment, fueled by growing frustration with the pace of reforms and the British government's continued indifference to Indian aspirations. The partition of Bengal in 1905, a blatant attempt to divide the nationalist movement along religious lines, proved to be a turning point. It sparked widespread protests and gave birth to the Swadeshi movement, a powerful expression of Indian self-reliance and resistance.
The Swadeshi movement called for the boycott of British goods, urging Indians to embrace indigenous products and industries. It resonated deeply with the masses, who saw it as a way to strike at the heart of British economic interests in India.
The movement witnessed the emergence of numerous Swadeshi enterprises, producing everything from textiles to stationery, as Indians from all walks of life embraced the spirit of self-sufficiency. The Swadeshi movement, beyond its economic impact, had a profound cultural and psychological impact. It instilled a sense of pride in Indian craftsmanship and heritage, fostering a spirit of unity and resistance that transcended religious and regional barriers. The fight for freedom was a long and arduous journey, marked by countless sacrifices and unwavering determination. The struggle united people from diverse backgrounds, all driven by a common goal: to break free from the shackles of colonial rule.
We knew that our fight was not just for ourselves, but for future generations. The dream of an independent India fueled our every action, every protest, and every sacrifice.
The movement saw the rise of charismatic leaders and brave fighters, whose stories of courage and resilience continue to inspire generations. Their legacy is a testament to the indomitable spirit of a nation that refused to be subdued.
Our fight for freedom was a testament to the power of unity and the strength of the human spirit. It showed the world that, even in the face of immense adversity, the desire for freedom cannot be extinguished.
And so, the fight for freedom continued, a relentless pursuit of justice and sovereignty that would ultimately reshape the destiny of an entire nation.
This moment, it changed everything. We knew we couldn't go back.
Yes, it was a turning point indeed. The sacrifices made, the unity forged, and the spirit of resistance strengthened.
The determination of the Indian people is truly remarkable. Their resolve is unshakable.
Absolutely. The collective will of millions, striving for freedom and justice, was a force that could not be ignored.
The victory was bittersweet. Independence came with its own set of challenges and unforeseen consequences.
Indeed, while the triumph of independence was celebrated, the reality of partition and its aftermath brought immense suffering and displacement.
We had won our freedom, but now the real work began, building a nation from the ground up.
Exactly. The journey to shape modern India was just beginning, with dreams of democracy, development, and unity guiding the way.